Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome into today's live. It's Wednesday, it's hump day, it's the 11th of December. That much closer to Christmas. That much closer to Christmas. That much closer to snow. We got snow here where I live. Not very much, just a dusting, but enough to, get your feet wet and get sloshy and get the dogs dirty. So, not looking forward to that, but looking forward to hanging out with you guys for a little bit today. So, welcome in. My name's Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. If you're new to the channel, hi, hello, welcome in. And if you're not new, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. So, I saw Mandy and Manic Mama was here. Lisa, Groovy Nikki. We've got some people in the chat that just aren't chatting. Hopefully they'll come in the chat and they'll chat with us. Let us know where you're from, what number you were whenever you hit the like button. If you guys don't mind hitting the like, it does help the channel get out in the algorithm so more people can come in and join us. Debbie's going to be driving but listening. Well, be careful out there. It's too cold. It's too cold. I don't like this kind of weather. I'm made of metal, and the metal does not agree with the cold weather at all. So, but that's okay. That's what happens. Hey, Glove Bug, it's been a while. It's good to see ya. It's good to see ya. So we are going to go over. So tonight we are going to cover some crazy stuff that's going on in Sebastian Rogers' case. So I didn't want to get behind in this case. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. We'll get started with some stuff. I wanted to, the first thing I wanted to show you was this video that I had found of Brian Thompson, the victim in this case. It just shows him talking about how they were going to improve like healthcare. And I thought I would show it to you guys. Hey, Alvin, 15-minute break. Oh man, that's it. Tell him you have to hang out with us. I'll keep it to where the little doggy's on the screen so you guys can see the little doggy because it's cute. And I'll put it on like 1.25 for now because, it is kind of boring what he talks about. He's talking about healthcare. But this is Brian. This is the victim. So I thought that it would be nice to kind of see him from a different point of view since the only point of view we've really seen him from is the back and him getting shot. Also, everything that's come out and that's been said about him has been really awful. And he is a person, he's a human being, and people need to treat him as such.
Hi, I'm Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, and welcome to the attendees of Reuters Total Health. Our mission and values are focused on helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone. I'm joining you from our Innovation Center here in our headquarters in Minneapolis. Data is at the core of our agenda to improve healthcare, which directly influences how we develop innovative consumer solutions. Behind me, you can see data from our call center operation of health-related activity occurs outside of the exam room. It's also what's happening at home, but ultimately improve the consumer experience as they engage with the health system overall. Research and decisioning, like other industries, people didn't have the tools and resources they needed to be good consumers. So supporting healthcare workers with tools that help them focus on practicing medicine, not red tape. We want the system to work better for everyone. Real consumerism has to occur in real time, seamlessly integrated into their electronic medical record and their provider workflow. That's what we're doing with the data and technology-enabled capability to make good decisions for the patient in real time.
I just wanted to show you like a minute of that, just to show you like, hey, this guy's a real guy, real person. Because I am swearing the suspect in this case has gotten so much love and support. It's unreal. It's unreal. Hey, Lenora, like the evidence against him is so high. It's piled really, really high, but everyone wants to oversee that because he's an Ivy League man that's made of, his family comes from means. He's an attractive guy. I don't know. But a lot of people even people are calling for Kim Kardashian to like represent him or something. I don't know. I'm just like, she can't do that in New York. So I don't believe so anyway. So we'll listen to this video and then we will kind of go over this article here. Let me see where I'm at. Let me move me back over. I don't want to block the cute dog. I have to figure out a different way. Okay.
This morning, suspected CEO killer Luigi Mangione is held without bail in this Pennsylvania prison, fighting extradition to New York.
Oh, so he did go to a prison. I was right. Oh.
After this outburst outside court yesterday.
As a completely out of touch, as an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
It could be weeks before Mangione's
Wonder what he meant by that.
Return to New York to answer to murder charges in the death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. In a new interview last night, NYPD officials said investigators continue combing through forensic evidence.
You can see that he was very methodical in his actions. We know that he arrived in New York City well before the incident took place. He was paying everything in cash. He was leaving a very, very light fingerprint for us to try and find him.
For months, Luigi Mangione had stopped communicating with family and friends. His mother last month filed a missing persons report in San Francisco. A former roommate in Hawaii says Mangione struggled with a back injury.
He did let me know that the severity of his back issue was such that it was very difficult to have physical relationships with women, that it made things painful.
This x-ray of a spine posted to his social media account. In addition to back pain, Mangione also posting about brain fog and sciatica, at one point writing, "It's absolutely brutal to have such a life-halting issue." Investigators are...
See, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to like give him a pass on this. Like, I mean, you don't get a pass just because you had back surgery. I mean, look at me. But I've never hurt anybody since my car accident. And I have more metal than the damn Tin Man. Like literally, the name ain't titanium built for nothing. I've had my eye removed. I don't know. We need to hear more about his health care or something. What was going on with that? Because he already had the surgery. So it's not like he was in pain because he couldn't afford the surgery.
They're also
That's what I don't
focusing
get.
on notes they say Mangione had when he was arrested, saying, "A reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy." Another
Mary
saying
Beth.
companies have simply gotten too powerful and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit
Right,
because the
Lisa?
American public has allowed them to get away with it. Mangione's attorney urging the public not to rush to judgment, saying his client will plead not guilty to all charges.
If you're an American, you believe in the American criminal
Look at this
justice
guy.
system, you have to presume him to be innocent.
Friends from his elite high school in Baltimore, where he was valedictorian, expressing shock at the arrest.
I've still been in a little state of disbelief that this kid that I knew from high school for 8 years ago is now the most high-profile killer, allegedly, in the country.
Mangione's family has deep
Well, I wouldn't give him that title. I think that one goes to Kohlberger still.
ties to the healthcare industry. His grandfather, a reported self-made millionaire whose portfolio included nursing homes. The family known to donate to local medical facilities.
An insult to the intelligence of the American people.
As Mangione fights extradition to New York, his outburst outside court now in the spotlight. We spoke to ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer.
What do you make of that outburst, and could this be setting up a possible defense?
But New York does have a defense of what's called extreme emotional distress that would make a murder charge turn into a manslaughter charge that would take 15 years to life, look more like 5 to 25 years. So in his instance, he may say that he is a victim of healthcare insurance system, and that put him in a headspin that existed at the time in which he committed this homicide, and then the jury will have to decide whether or not that's reasonable.
The dude ran off. Mangione ran off like it was nothing. You guys saw the tape? He ran. I can't run. Hey, L-Beam, I can't even run. Your girl cannot run with these metal rods in her legs. She can jog, which they told me I couldn't. They told me at first they didn't think I'd walk. So shame on them for saying that, right? But then they said I would never jog. Like, that's just like a no. Like, yeah, right. Well, I can jog a little bit. Can't jog far, but I can jog. Now running, heck no. But he did. He was just like boom, boom, boom. Like, in between the cars and through the through the passageway. He hopped on a bike, could pedal that bike, right? Pedal it. And while he had the little engine, so I guess he didn't have to pedal there. But he was able to do it. I don't know. What'd he do? He gunned down a CEO of a healthcare company, UnitedHealthcare, the biggest healthcare company in the United States. I didn't like it when Richard Allen was in prison either. Yeah, I don't agree with it. I wonder why they couldn't take him. Maybe that's the only reason why I'm thinking is because it was such a high profile case. They took him to a prison, but that prison looks scary. Niall said Luigi, the Italian stallion. Is he Italian? Yeah, he is Italian. He surely was making a quick getaway. Yeah. Hey, Garrett. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm pretty sure he could make love. I'm not trying to like get into all that, but he's got metal in his back that should help him. If he has a pinched nerve, man, I welcome to my world. Like, I got sciatica like it's no one's business. But that, Yeah, it was an e-bike. I forgot he had the engine. He had like carried the engine or something, the motor with him. I had heard in like a previous like post, but I haven't seen it since. So that's not really, that's not too strenuous, but him running is. Oh, you also heard he was upset because he was taking off his parents' insurance. Maybe. That's what I was thinking. Maybe they did put him on painkillers. He did carry the battery. I thought I read that, and then I didn't read it anywhere else. Garrett. He'll be all right. He'll do it. He'll be all right. TMZ's actually been reporting some stuff. So, remember the bombs that were sent to Brian's home? Well, it sounded like at first they were sent to Brian's home and his ex or wife or ex-wife's home. But she came out with an interview and it didn't sound like she had received a bomb threat, because she was like, yeah, he said that he's been receiving threats. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like you have then. But Luigi Mangione pulled or mulled using a bomb to kill UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, but ultimately decided against it to protect the lives of innocent people, TMZ confirmed. So maybe he didn't place those bombs there. At 26, you come off. You do, Garrett. You're right. I was on my dad's till I was 26, and then I had my own. So there for a while, I had two. Yeah, what was he screaming about? We know what he said, but we just don't know what he was meaning. He's crowdfunded $29K. Oh my God. Man. Y'all. That's craziness. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ investigators found a spiral notebook they believe belongs to Mangione, in which he wrote to-do list of tasks that needed to be completed to kill Thompson, while explaining why these plans were necessary. That's one of his mugshots. He has so many like different. They took so many pictures of him. It's crazy. One alarming passage allegedly relished what it would be like to kill the CEO at his own bean counting conference, believing that shooting his victim would be more targeted rather than a bombing, which could kill innocents. And you could tell whoever was in that video, they had a target. They didn't try to hurt that lady that was standing right there. They didn't try to hurt anybody else that had walked by. He had ducked in between the cars. So I believe that. We'll listen to what they have to say here on TMZ.
There was something that
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is the friend. They did an interview with him. I didn't show the interview last night because it literally was like his friend was just talking about how great he was and how good he was and how nonviolent he was. And I don't know. It was just too much.
Luigi had made a comment or left a review of the Unabomber's Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. And he spoke pretty glowingly in this review of the ideology behind Ted Kaczynski, and that he called him, I believe he said that he was a brilliant thinker about, and he adored or admired the way Ted Kaczynski thought about corporate America, and that corporate America was evil, basically. Was that ever one of the conversations that you guys had?
As part of our surf book club, we each kind of got to pick a different book week to week, and another member and I, half jokingly, half serious, actually picked the Unabomber manifesto. And I picked it because I never read it before, and I figured, well, if I pick it, it'll force me to read it. And found it very kind of difficult and painful. I don't think many of us read past the first chapter. We definitely had a lively conversation about the book, but the things in the book and the things that Kaczynski writes in the manifesto about corporate American things aren't new. They've been circulated, since the counter-revolution of the 1960s. You can read Call Me Ishmael and you understand that our society is kind of on a dystopian trajectory in terms of how we treat the environment. So I think reading the manifesto, none of us thought that any of the ideas in it were remotely revolutionary and that had been
your buddy did
circulated, in consciousness for many, many decades.
But it certainly seemed to have an impact on Luigi, at least based on that review that he wrote. Was he that passionate in your conversation about the manifesto?
I didn't detect any special passion regarding the manifesto. I mean, we read all sorts of different books, in our group text chat, we had a lot of great conversations, and, there were all sorts of things that we found fascinating. But nothing stood out about reading that book versus some of the others. I think largely one of our big subject matters was trying to understand how good people from two sides or two parts of the spectrum can so vehemently disagree about things and not, come to logical solutions and working together. And, in some ways the subtext is how the nation is so divided right now, and why don't we solve and why don't we address problems that are so blatantly obvious to everyone.
It sounds like you don't believe that he could be the person who did this.
right.
The Luigi I know could have never murdered someone. It's just inconceivable.
Yeah, this guy said he's not watching the news right now. He's just not going to do it. That's what he said. He's like, I'm just not going to. I'm not going to watch the news right now. I'm like, what? So he's like, I don't want to see his mugshot. No. Like, I understand denial, and that's what he's going through. But, buddy, your girlfriend needs to sit you down and have a talk with you and say, you need to just look. You need to look. Because your dude, those eyebrows, man. And if he wouldn't have taken his mask down, okay, if we wouldn't have got the footage from him in the back of the taxi, that was a really good picture. And if we didn't get him with his mask down flirting with that girl, because boys will be boys, men will be men. He wanted to flirt with that lady, so he pulled his mask down to show her his pretty smile. And we all got a great look at his face. Now, if you're telling me that his mama or his dad or somebody didn't see him on the news before all this, I would probably have to say that's false, because anybody that turns the news on or goes on to X or, oh, look, I said it right, or does anything, goes on to Google, you're going to see this. I mean, you're going to see this. So it says thoughts of using a bomb were apparently brought up when Mangione wrote about the infamous Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. As we reported, Luigi praised Kaczynski's manifesto as an interesting read, but his friend R.J. Martin tells us he didn't think that he was moved by the material. In addition to his spiral notebook, I wonder what that says too. Mangione penned his own manifesto that rallied against the healthcare industry. Our sources say that he wrote the healthcare industry is full of greed and these parasites had it coming, without naming Thompson. Okay. Ooh. He faces charges in Pennsylvania, which we went through yesterday. We went through all of the documents that were out. We went through the arrest affidavit for New York. We went through his charges for NPA. We went over a lot last night, actually. We'll listen to a little bit of this podcast. It's not very long. It's like 18 minutes, but it's only like a few minutes for each person. Like they go through a few different cases. So we'll just listen to see what they have to say about this case, and then we'll move on. Oh, there's a jet going overhead. I live by a military base.
I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for
40 gigabytes, see detail.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie Neff.
And today we got some pretty interesting new details on the CEO assassin, Luigi Mangione, who was arrested yesterday in what is maybe the most fascinating criminal case of my lifetime.
Like definitely going to be turned into a movie, right?
Yeah. Who's playing Luigi?
Everyone's saying Dave Franco should play him.
Okay.
I could see that.
Okay, I could.
Or maybe our own Jacob Wasserman.
Jacob Wasserman.
Yeah, he's one of our reporters here. People are comparing him.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. We'll talk about Jay-Z because he showed up last night at the Mufasa premiere. Something I predicted and something you were like, oh, no way, that has never happened.
Okay, I don't sound like that.
Well, you sound... only that with like a no way.
Oh wow, we're all over the
much.
place here with the impressions.
I'm just
yeah, it seems to be unbothered or at least trying to ignore all the allegations against him.
Luigi Mangione, he was dealing with some pretty serious back issues leading up to the assassination, or the alleged, we should say, because he hasn't been found guilty yet.
Yeah.
Does anyone know when he had that surgery? I'm curious. I'm real curious to know when he had that surgery.
His back pain was so bad it prevented him from having sex. Like he was rested up for at least a week after a bad surfing accident. And now we're starting to.
Well, okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't have went surfing.
Find out a bit more of the motive, I guess.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Obviously, the guy was a CEO of a healthcare company, United, and Luigi's roommate did an interview with CNN, basically talking about how he lived with Luigi for 6 months in Hawaii, and how all this back pain that he had was so crippling that he had like screws in his back. He even had sent him like an x-ray of what his back looked like, and it was all mangled.
It looked really bad with these massive things going into his.
Yeah, I mean, he has like 4 to 8 screws, 4 to 8 screws, and looks like a plate in his back. I don't have anything in my back, but I do have not like this is the same pain, but I have a curve in my upper right, my lower left, and then a 16-degree curvature in the middle of my back. And I'm going to tell you what, it is painful. When it flares up, woo, I'll be on the floor.
Yeah.
Vertebrae. Like he went into this sort of surfing trip having back issues already. He's something he'd struggled with all of his life. And then in some incident while surfing, he irritated it so badly that he had to have surgery.
He was in bed for a week.
And that really motivated him to sort of like come back and insurers. We don't know who his health insurance was.
Right.
One would assume it was
United, maybe.
So the back injury happened because he already had something wrong with his back, and then he injured it while surfing, it sounds like.
One would assume. But it's very interesting that now we're learning more detail.
Yeah, and the procedure that he had to get done probably costs tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah.
So maybe he's realizing, like, especially I think when you're 26, you get kicked off of your like parents' insurance.
Oh, yeah.
So he probably had to start paying these like wild prices that the rest of us are kind of used to paying. And maybe that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, no pun intended.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this kid grew up very well off. He was the
Absolutely.
valedictorian at his high
He
school.
was like super smart,
smart.
like very decorated in his education. He even went to like private school for like high school and stuff like that. Like you mentioned valedictorian. There's a valedictorian speech of him, delivering the speech.
We went over that too a couple lives ago.
Well spoken, super smart, and apparently he actually told people in court yesterday he doesn't use drugs and he doesn't have any mental health issues, and which just makes you think like, well, how
Probably shouldn't have said any of that.
how is it connected directly to the CEO that he killed? Was it because, like you said, Charlie, maybe he was insured by United? Maybe that is all the connection here. But yeah, very, very interesting. He did have a manifesto in his backpack too.
Right. I mean, yeah, he posted a quote before he did it from Dr. Seuss in the Lorax.
Oh, we have the same birthday.
Well, congrats.
Seuss and I.
Wow. Fun fact.
What's the Lorax quote?
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not.
That's so sad.
He's
What a
basically
negative mindset.
Well, I mean, here we are. This is the debate. This is why it's such a fascinating case. Is he a hero or is he a villain?
I mean, you should never kill anybody. I'm going to stop. I stop there personally.
Personally, yes. But I mean, we hate these healthcare insurers.
Absolutely. And, should there be change? Of course. Should you kill somebody for there to be change? No.
He was so smart. This guy was so intelligent that he probably could have worked his magic and got some sort of interview with the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. I don't know. The dude's smart. The dude is really smart. Or at least somebody in the office. I don't know. Maybe he couldn't have done anything overnight, but maybe he could have done something eventually. This is crazy. Does he think things are going to get done now? I mean, they kind of did with Anthem. They decided to go ahead and pull back on them not making it to where you have to pay for some of your anesthesia now. So that was a big thing that they were going to do. And they, I guess, pulled and yanked that.
I'll never
What
agree
if
with that.
What if this incident of killing of the CEO ends up changing the whole healthcare industry so that they can't sort of delay or they can't defer, they can't do all these things that Luigi was fighting against, which in turn will save a lot of lives. Luigi's point was that these healthcare insurers, they're like killing people daily by not like giving them the money they need to survive and pay for their medicine and stuff. And so if this affects real change and so the insurers have to like wake up a bit and be better to the common man, then, I mean, the utilitarian thing is that he saved lives, right?
No. I mean, look, he could have done other things. I feel like he could have, championed from the rooftop.
But that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
He could have scaled the Empire State Building.
Do you think that'd make healthcare insurers stop charging so much and start like paying out?
But look what you're creating. If you want to get your way, you go and kill people. No way.
Well, yep, that's the debate. I mean,
that's
why it's
be a debate. I mean, this guy, like, I obviously don't know him. I don't know his history, the CEO that died, but he has family members that are grieving, that are sad. He has young children. I don't think in any way you can justify their loss for like the greater good of people.
His kids are younger than this guy. Luigi.
If you want to make change, there's other appropriate ways to make change
that don't work, that haven't worked.
Well, killing, it's not in my book.
What happens if it works?
It doesn't justify a killing.
I mean, and that's a very fair point, Charlie, and that's why it's a very interesting debate.
Yes, agreed.
I think that's all of it.
'Tis the season for shopping. Shop with work. It's truly annoying.
On the red carpet for Mufasa.
Yeah, I think they talk about Jay-Z after this, which we need to like be talking about that too. So we'll read this and then we'll listen to this because it says family speaks out. We'll see about that because the last one I listened to, it said family spoke out and no family spoke out. It was his friends. So I didn't have a chance to listen to this 2-minute video. I don't think I did anyway. So Luigi Mangione struggled with his love life years before he was accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, according to his friend. Maybe we'll see when he had that surgery. The 26-year-old, who has been charged with murder in connection to Thompson's December 4th shooting, suffered from painful back issues that affected his romantic relationships, according to R.J. Martin, the founder of Hawaiian co-living space Surf Break, where Mangione resided in 2022. His spine was kind of misaligned. Okay, so is mine. Martin told the New York Times in an interview published December 9th, he said his lower vertebrae were almost like a half of inch off, and I think it pinched a nerve. Due to the pain, Martin said Mangione knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible. Okay, so he left Hawaii in 2023, according to Martin, who said the University of Pennsylvania graduate sent me back pictures of his back surgery when he checked up on him through text that August. Okay, so around August then. Although the two sporadically traded texts in the following months, Martin said he never saw Mangione in person again. Luigi was arrested on December 9th at a McDonald's, Pennsylvania, after an employee there called the local authorities about a suspicious male who resembled the male from a recent shooting in New York. And there he is. Pennsylvania authorities said in the document that Mangione presented officers with a fake New Jersey license. When they questioned him at the scene, when officers took Luigi Mangione to the local police station, they found a black 3D printed pistol and a black silencer in his backpack. You just had to keep it. Like, I guess because you made it and, I don't know, you just didn't want to get rid of it. Like, it's just so weird that you would keep that, but you would get rid of the jacket, the book bag, everything else. And then why write stuff down? Don't write stuff down, guys. In Mangione's possession was also a multi-page document allegedly written by him that expressed ill will towards corporate America. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done, read the document as described by senior law enforcement officials to NBC News. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. In the wake of Mangione's arrest, his attorney, Tim Dickey, said it's likely he will plead not guilty to the murder charge. He looks kind of pissed. Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says he's the shooter, he told reporters December 10th. Remember, and this is not just a small thing, a fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. And then we know all this stuff. This is for an in-depth look, but we know all this. This is the stuff that we've already went over. But, oh, wow. Let's play this.
Luigi Mangione's family is speaking out after he's charged with the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Hours after the 26-year-old was arrested and named as a person of interest in the killing, his family issued a statement saying they are, quote, devastated by this news. In a statement posted to X, formerly Twitter, by one of Luigi's cousins, Nino Mangione, who has served in the Maryland House of Delegates since 2019, reads, quote, unfortunately, we can't comment on news reports regarding Luigi Mangione. We only know what we have read in the media. The statement continues, quote, our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. Luigi, who police say holds 2 engineering degrees from the University of Pennsylvania, was taken into police custody on December 9th at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania after officers received a call of a suspicious male, according to the criminal complaint obtained by E! News. Once on the scene, officers asked the Baltimore native for his ID, and he gave them a fake New Jersey identification card saying his name was Mark Rosario. When
he looks like a Mark Rosario.
That name, police asked the male if he
I'll be like, yeah, he does look like a Mark Rosario. But look at him. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyebrows. Those are so prominent. I don't know, just somebody knew that was who that was by looking in his eyes.
He had been to New York recently, and he became quiet and started to shake. According to court reports, hours after his arrest December 9th, the Ivy League graduate, who allegedly had a ghost gun and suppressor on him at the time, was charged by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office with second-degree murder, criminal possession of a loaded firearm, possession of a silencer, and possession of a forged instrument in state court in Manhattan. Following the arrest, UnitedHealthcare reacted to the update in the investigation. The company says in a statement to NBC News, quote, "Our hope is that today's apprehension brings some relief to Brian's family, friends, colleagues, and the many others affected by this unspeakable tragedy. We thank law enforcement and we will
Absolutely.
continue to work with them on this investigation."
I mean, they did do it pretty quick. I mean, they apprehended him pretty quickly. In my eyes, they did, I mean, it took them like a week, but this dude had planned everything down to, the silencer, the 3D gun, changing of the jacket, changing of the book bag. But he had to go to McDonald's breakfast because y'all know how good, man, how good McDonald's breakfast can be sometimes. It's either terrible or it's the best thing you've ever ate. Well, I hope it was the best thing he ever ate, because this is the last time he's probably going to eat out ever outside of a jail. But when you go to New York jails, you get like a whole menu. So you can have like filet fish. You can have steak and, steak with the bone in, chicken. That's what Diddy's getting right now anyway. So it's crazy to me, isn't it? In this case, just let's go to Twitter. Let's see if they have anything over there that's updated. Oh, look at this. We'll talk about that tonight. Apparently, yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. Sebastian's case. People are freaking weirdos. Okay. I don't see. Oh, so it says here that Luigi is suspected in the shooting of UnitedHealthcare, Brian Thompson. It says has been reported to have had his fingerprints matched to those found at the crime scene. Despite this, his defense claims there is no direct evidence linking Mangione to the act. That says he considered using a bomb, but chose shooting to maximize harm by bystanders. That's awfully nice. He is currently fighting extradition to New York to face murder charges. So basically what's going to happen right now, and this is where it was, is Luigi and his attorney are going to have like 10 days of court hearings, like, saying, they don't want to go back. And what they're going to end up doing, I think, is sending his butt back. They're going to have a hearing. They're going to say, yeah, the charges are, a grand jury indicted you. They'll have a grand jury indict him. They will send him back over to New York, and he will have wasted all of that time in that jail, in that prison, just to go to another prison when he should have just not fought extradition. I mean, Brian Kohlberger didn't even fight extradition. Just send his butt back over there. I mean, it's not that far. It's okay. So we got, oh man, this is craziness. Craziness, I tell you. Oh, where do I want to go? I'm like, where do I want to go? I'm trying to think of like how to put it to where it's just me. Maybe I should remove that. There we go. I don't want to mess with the dog though. There we go. Sorry. I'll get this under control. Oh my gosh, Boone, she will. She will. Those 3 little buttons that you can click where you don't see anybody on your For You page ever again? I did that like 2 years ago to her, and it's been lovely. Like, I'm not even going to lie about it. It's been very lovely. I should do that more often. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like there's 3 buttons on YouTube that you can press to where you don't ever have to see the person pop up on your For You page again. And I love that. They're holding him in a prison. Yeah. The prison's scary looking too. We saw a picture of it. I was like, that's pretty scary. That's pretty terrifying. But, oh man, hopefully they'll get him moved over to New York. They're going to put him in a prison probably in New York too, though. Manifestos, yep. They're all MK. They all got a manifesto or Google search. I want to see his Google searches. I'm dying to see those. I want to see those because he Googled stuff. I mean, they all do. They all do. Even the smartest and brightest. Well, we think that are the smartest and brightest. None of them are. None of them are. I mean, they all get caught. They all get caught. It was so good to see you, Harlow. Haven't seen you in a while. Does anybody have any questions for me while I'm on here? I was going to go ahead and jump off and take the dogs outside. I don't know if you heard me, but I said take the dogs outside. I don't want them to hear me because they'll get up and they'll be running around. And they're sleeping like angels right now. One's snoring. Oh, have fun with your friends, Lenora. I wish I had a friend. I'm just kidding. I do. They all just live like an hour away. I wish I had a friend closer. I could just hop skip over there. The three she says. So messed up. Okay. I'll show you guys. Okay. So let me pull up my YouTube here. Okay. So let's say I don't know any of these people. So we'll say her. Okay. So this person here, you see these three dots? So all you have to do is actually I just don't have to do it, but you could put so you go to these three oops. Not that. You go to the three dots right here at the bottom of the screen. And when you click it, you can hit report, don't recommend this channel, not interested. So it'll just take stuff like that's like that stuff, like makeup tutorials off of your page. But you can go to do not recommend this channel, and it'll never recommend that channel on your For You page ever again. It just takes it right off. Just takes it right off. It's a beautiful thing. Even if I spell it, Jeff, they know. This Weimaraner's smarter than smart. I've never had a dog as smart as this dog. Like, she just knows. They're both smart, but the Weimaraner's beyond smart. And the cat's looking at me. What do you want, sir? What are you doing, sir? Sir? What do you want? Huh? Anything for you. He's just hanging. Oh, I don't know if I bet you I've seen your dog before. You look like a lab kind of guy or a golden retriever or something. I don't know. They just got it. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you this. Oh my Lord. I think I've told you guys, but we lived in this building now for 7 years. We've lived here 7 years. Must love it. Must love it. They never put dogs in this building with us. They just don't. Like, I think everyone knew about our dogs and how they're just kind of crazy and they are just together. Like, they're sisters. They love each other, but they don't want to be around any other dogs. They just don't. We should have maybe put them around other dogs when they were little or something. I don't know, but they're weird. They don't like other dogs. So now there is a mini golden doodle downstairs right in the side yard where we take them to go pee, because we'll take them on 3 walks a day, 3 side yards a day. Well, this lady walked out and I don't know who she is. She doesn't usually she's not there. These are younger people. This was an older lady. She walks out with the dog. So I'm pulling my dogs can pull me. Like, they can pull me if they really wanted to. And I'm trying to yell back at this lady, like, my dogs are not friendly, and I live here. Because she was like, well, just come on. You can come on. And I'm like, no, I can't. Your dog's outside. I'm like, your dog is outside. I live here. I'm trying to explain to this lady, like, I have to go past you because I have to get to the front door. Like, I live upstairs. I can't go anywhere else. Like, I have to go this way. So then she finally was like, it's fine. You can go. And I had to go and straight out, go to the garages and go around. And my dogs were so sweet. They were so good. I was so proud of them. I think they're getting older to where they're retiring. They don't want to mess with, they just don't want the mess. But I love mini golden doodle citizen sleuth. Like I want one so bad. But, not until, years from now. But the dog is so cute. I don't want my dog to look at that dog and say that's my next teddy bear. Because they are so cute and they look like little teddy bears. My dog likes to take the stuffing out of them. Like she's been in a fight before. I get nervous. You know what I mean? Like I get real nervous. I get just real nervous. And she's such a good dog though. I don't think she would do anything, but I don't know. So now whenever I go to the side yard, I have to be like alert, and I'm blind on one side. I'm blind on that side too. So it's just like a mess, but that's just how it goes. The cat wanted the bed. That was what it was. And the dog's in the chair. He's afraid she's going to bark at him. She knows better. She's half asleep. She's so funny. I have the funniest dogs. But yeah, so I'm like nervous. I'm always nervous about taking them out anyway. And there's not a lot of dogs in this neighborhood. Like she's actually been in 2 dog fights. They weren't her fault. Like the first dog fight, this person let go of his chain and let this dog like come near me. And that was when I first got her. And I think she was very territorial about me. So she attacked. That one, I gave him my phone number. I never got a phone call or anything. I handed him my phone and I was like, please call me, let me know, and I'll do whatever. No, actually I lied. She did do something. She took me to court. She took me to court instead of calling me. She took me to court instead. $250 later, I was like, okay, you're cool. Hey, Toby. Hey, Don. And then the second time, it was this little black dog, and the lady, I think she might have let go of her leash too. I know I didn't let go of mine. I never do. I will fall. I will break up. I'll shatter a bone. I don't care. I'll do anything to keep a hold of that dog. Something where how they got tangled up, and I was stupid and I went to try to separate them, and you should never do that. Like pull them by their tails, I've heard, but never try to like separate them by their mouths. Well, I did that and I got bit by her dog. So I had to go to the emergency room because it was so bad. Like it wasn't just a little bit of bleeding. It was bandage after bandage after bandage. I took a shower. I thought that would help. I had to walk there. It was like 1.5 miles. Oh, it was so bad. But she admitted it was her fault. So my dog didn't get in any trouble for that, but they wanted to like tell us to like make us get rid of her. And I cried to the management like so hardcore. I was like, use those tears, baby girl. And they're like, we won't make you. It was a guy too. So I think he felt bad. He was like, I won't make you. I'm sorry. Like, I won't make you do it. Just make sure, she's always with you, leashed and everything. And she's been fine ever since. I mean, she's old now, guys. She's like 10 years old. So she's cool. But as long as no dogs come around her, she's cool. She doesn't want nobody. Oh my gosh, Geo twins. See, that's what my dog would do. Dog fights are scary. I don't like them. That's why I get real nervous. I just rather like have Vincent with me when I take him out for the most part. It's nicer to have someone with me. I do have my Apple Watch to where I can call him, which is great because I've had to do that a lot. I'll get like stuck in a space where there's dogs everywhere and I don't know what to do. But if you guys saw them right now, you would be like, oh my gosh, they're precious. They're both sleeping, just looking like good dogs. They are good dogs. They're the best. They're dogs, Dogs test your patience sometimes. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. Thank you guys for talking to me for a little bit today. Appreciate it. Can't believe it's only 12 o'clock. That's why I came on and did a live. I was like, I am so bored. So what I was thinking, I think I might do on this second channel, do like open panels and invite whoever wants to come up, and you guys can we can talk about whatever. And then just like talk for a couple hours. And I figured I can bring my standing desk and I can do that while I'm doing my chores in the morning, because I have a couple of hours in the morning, every morning, that I'm just like literally just cleaning, doing things around the home where I could be talking to you guys at the same time. It'd be fun. It'd actually make it, maybe the cleaning would go faster. But thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Oh, and pray for my vacuum cleaner. I'm pretty sure that it broke today. And we just got it last year. Ugh. Yeah, the brush won't spin. Whoops. So pray for my vacuum. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on tonight's show at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.